Hello, cursed tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Quest II for the Super Nintendo with me, BlueAnkylo. The last episode, we ended with picking up a rare drop of the Hades Shield, or Evil Shield, depending on the version you're playing, which did provide a minor defense upgrade for our hero, although it did curse him. And I did a little bit of research between episodes. Apparently it does add a chance to lose your turn in combat. So we're gonna see how long we last with this before I maybe trade it back for Erdrick's Shield, but that's fine. I also did a little bit of research as to where the Sun Crest is that we missed. The Sun Crest, also known as the Fire Crest. We did get a hint about it, and I'd forgotten about it, so it was my own mistake for not remembering. It's on the Fire Monument, which, where's the Fire Monument, you ask? Well, I don't know if anyone ever called it that, but it's on a tiny little island, or you could just use the teleporter, because it's one of the teleporter islands. And even then, finding it on that island, in that temple, is no small thing. So anyway, we'll go pick that up first, because we need the crest to go back into the Cave of Rhone. Although, along the way, there is one more little detail that I learned. Remember those bells we could have bought? I don't think we have any. I finally figured out, well, I had to look it up. I figured out exactly what they do, and I'll explain that once we get to one, basically. Probably should have picked one up a long time ago, to be honest, but I didn't realize what they did. Okay, so we're looking for one of the small islands in the southeast of the world, and we'll just sort of, you know what, we've got Repel these days, so when we're traveling across the ocean, we can save some time. Also, we have some frame skip, that always helps. So from here, I love this world map. Just south and then west and then a little bit south. Or west and then a little bit south, whatever, you know what I mean. It was not that island, so which one is it? Sorry guys, I mostly know where I'm going. Maybe it's one of the smaller islands. Yeah, okay, that's the World Tree Island. I missed the, is it this one? It's one of these little islands. These guys are probably nothing to... These probably are... We probably can sneeze at them. Don't say it's nothing to sneeze at. Udra trees. Ah, look! Blue couldn't attack because he was cursed! First one of the episode. So last episode... Oh, 2 in a row. Okay, I guess maybe we better take that off. Last episode I had, like... I feel like I went through a couple combats where Blue attacked like 5 times in a row, maybe even like 10 times in a row, and we never got cursed, like, we never had the effect of curse even a single time. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. There's another secret I learned, because I was reading up about all the items in the game, just, you know, hidden uses and stuff that is not terribly obvious. Okay, so I believe this is the Fire Shrine, or maybe it's not, but either way it connects to the other one, so it doesn't really matter. It's one of these two. And I think it's actually this one. Oh, that's also a good... See, this is an important note, too. I'm pretty sure I have to pick up the Evil Idol one more time, the Eye of Hargon. Because I actually do... It has a second use, so you want to actually have it in your inventory. Okay, that guy's not helping very much. So where is this shrine? Oh, it was actually just north of the town. North of the town we were in, of course. So if I understand correctly anyway, it's... Maybe it was the other one. Okay, let's go back. I believe it's supposed to be in the top right tree. Yeah, notice how you don't exit on this one? So dumb. How would you ever figure that out? And I meant to use the Echoing Flute one last time. I'm sorry, it probably would have made a note or something. I actually don't even really know how the Echoing Flute works, other than it's supposed to help you find these things. So yeah, that was super effective, clearly. Anyway, now we've got all 5 crests, and I got the last one kind of out of order, technically. You can pick that up as soon as you can go to the teleporting shrines, actually. So with that, now we want to go to the Shrine of Rubis, or whatever it's called. which I believe is just north of us. Almost due north, actually. So again, you know what? We've got Repel, might as well use it. Although the next time we're in combat, I should show off another useful trick that I figured out. Or, well, we'll see. I'll test it out. If you can trust the internet. So maybe we should get at least one combat here. There's the... Okay, good. So what I heard was that... Remember when I picked up this power shield and I'm like, I think the power shield has some extra effect. But I couldn't remember what it was. Well, maybe we should use it as an item. We'll see if this actually works or if I was lied to. Alright, there. It was quick. I have the text going really quickly. But what it does is it's a free casting of Heal More, but you can't target it. It either only heals himself or it targets a character randomly. I'm not 100% sure. You know, the guides for these old games aren't necessarily always that good at explaining things. So it's possible it might just be only the user gets healed by it. But what that does mean is if I have a lot of money, I think I could buy one for everybody. And then in their own inventory, they could use it. If it does heal themselves, that might be perfect. Because then you have a way of free healing in dungeons. And that actually upgrades the power shield to the nearly best item in the game. If it just heals someone randomly, it's still really good. But anyway. For now, the 5 crests start shimmering. They also played the same notes that the Echo Flute did, I believe. So I'm sure there's some sort of hidden meaning if you're really paying attention to the Echo Flute. A beautiful voice is heard out of nowhere. Who is it that called me? I am the spirit of this great land, Rubis. I mean, she's supposed to be female. I don't really have a great goddess voice. What? You are the descendants of Erdrick? Then listen to me. Long ago, I made a promise with the great hero Erdrick. When you showed up, I remembered that promise. Convenience. Good thing you brought those crests, or I never would have helped you. Now, let me grant you my protection. Someday, when you are disoriented and tricked by evil illusions, use this. Without fail, I will assist you. Now go, descendants of Erdrick. I will always watch over you. And that's it. You don't even see her. So, that's cool. I wonder if we get anything... 2, 3, 4. Anyway, at least we got to hear the echoing flute do something. Now we're gonna throw it away and never use it again. But still, you know, I mean... If you had to play this game at a time without the internet and you couldn't afford Nintendo Power, I guess you would have had to just randomly stumble around until you either remembered or found the person who told you the tip, or you finally found the flute may have actually been useful back then. I don't know. I didn't really figure out a good way to use it, but I also... Well, I mean, I remembered how to get 4 out of 5 without having to look that up, so it wasn't too bad. Anyway, and also for Let's Plays, just randomly exploring the world, searching every map is not great entertainment value, probably. We try to avoid that. So we came back here to go to the vault because... as awesome as the Cursed Shield is-ish, I really don't want to have to deal with Cursed all the time. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, hold on, people. This is just gonna take a second. Sell some stuff. Sell the iron helmet. Anyone else have anything to sell while I'm looking? Not really. Okay. Oh, I did look up prayer rings. They are called wizard rings originally. Theoretically, if we use them in battle, we should regenerate a little bit of MP, and they might break. So that's kind of what I thought they did, but I never really... They're kind of limited. There's actually only so many in the game. So generally, you want to save them for the very end, when you're in the longest, hardest dungeon right before the final boss, and then you can use up all your prayer rings and try to fight the final boss at full MP, because the final boss is a big jerk, in case you're wondering. Alright, so now we need to get uncursed. Oh, he's talking about the echoing... Oh, look at this. Hold on. I thought he was... Wait a second. Did we never talk to this guy? The echoing flute is the singing voice of the spirits. Castle, town, cave, tower, monolith. Play the flute in these places. Blow the flute, and if you're in a place where there is a crest, then an echo will return. So, you know, it's because it's a church, and I generally don't need detox, or I don't actually have to do these very often. Turns out this random church guy is actually the one that tells you how the flute works, so that's cool. Goodbye all my money. Oh gods, remove this horrible curse. They didn't say it actually worked, but... Oh gods, protect this soul. So anyway, I'm still gonna hold on to that Hades shield. Like, I think it's rare enough that I don't want to lose it. But, oh! No, I thought it was... Like, did it get destroyed? No, it's just unequipped. Alright, thanks. So that's great. So we've switched out back to... well, we will switch out here to a more... Right. One more thing. Hey, there we go. A more reliable setup. A little bit less defense, but we won't waste so many turns. And it would be really bad to waste a turn in like a big fight where you need to heal or kill something quickly. So I think going through the Cave of Rhone Cursed is probably not advisable. The dungeon is just too difficult to randomly miss an attack. Okay, so next up... I'm gonna hold on to my keys. I'm gonna hold on to the Charm of Rubus. You need that to get through the Cave of Rhone. The Echoing Flute, right. I was gonna toss that. That's what I should have done. I would have had room for the shield there. Sorry. I love trying to do inventory micromanagement on camera. It's my favorite thing. Alright. Echoing Flute, go away. And... I think, and I'm not 100%, but I think we do need to have... it's going to be a while, but I think we actually do need the Statue of Evil, also known as the Eye of Malroth. I believe we do need this for the final area, basically. Very, very near the end. Although it might just be the Charm of Rubus, and maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, we'll have them both just in case. Now, I think this is one of the shops. Is this not... No, fortune teller, no. We need to find a shop that sells the bells again. I just forget exactly which shops sell them. The one we were in when we started at the island we were started at, didn't sell them. I checked between episodes, so unfortunately we had to keep going. But actually having access to the bells, especially for this last couple dungeons, will really help, and I didn't realize the difference it makes, but once I find the shop, I'll explain exactly what it does. I know, like, back in the first town, someone explained it at one of the random NPCs, like, a chance to reduce status effects or something. I thought that meant you had to use it in battle, and then you got, like, a temporary status resistance, I guess, would be, like, for the battle. I was wrong. You just equip it, and it's always on. Of course, they don't sell it in the first town. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, I actually have it on my list. Rippleport... I've got a second monitor looking at it. Rippleport, Tantagil, Zahan, Sluice, or Burrowell are the names of the towns in the not weird fan translation. So that doesn't help me very much. Rippleport, I know where that is. That's the where you get the boat. Tantagil's Dragon Quest 1 first town. Is this maybe one of the other ones? Burrowell sounds maybe like this the kind of place. Nope. What is this town? This is Larissa. Alright. Doesn't sound like Moonbeam, Moonport, Moonglow. What about this one? Actually, this is supposed to be like Middenhall or Canuck. This is Canuck. It's supposed to be Canuck. They call it Simultria. That's fine. You're the item shop. Nope. So I guess you wouldn't have been able to buy it super early game because none of the original towns actually sell it. And then once they started selling it, I avoided it because I was dumb. So now I have to go to one of the more advanced towns, but not this one. So that's great. I guess I should have stopped at the underground town, or because that's probably Burrowell is almost certainly the underground town, and Zahan is either the one by the Watergate or the one with the little island. I think the island with all the fishermen is probably Zahan in the proper translation. Well, let's just go back there. I still like my save to be by the town that has the teleport toll to Rhone Cave, because that's like the most useful area to teleport to, like, to return to at this point in the game. It's actually quite close to the teleporting gates if you want to use those, or you can just sail wherever. Anyway, these guys will certainly sell the item I'm looking for. I'm 99% sure. Assuming the people get out of the way, you know. That's always the big trick. It's maybe this item shop? Nope, that's not an item shop. This is probably the vault. Nope, this is it. Okay. There we go. So, Bell Amulet. Anybody can equip it. It's equipable, which is weird. Like, that's what was throwing me off. That, and also we get it at a discount. Isn't that great? We save a couple bucks. But yeah, it's equipable by everyone, and it's actually the only accessory you can equip. Other than that wind mantle that didn't really do anything. So you really should just give one to everyone as soon as you can afford it. Which is, as soon as you can basically get to a town that sells it, it's not that expensive. And so let's just look. Blue, I think I was reading technically there's a bug in the Super Nintendo version, but if you're playing on the NES or the Game Boy, or there's a port on the phone, it's like on Android or something. But anyway, apparently on the Super Nintendo version, there's actually a small bug, unless they patched it in the ROM, in the fan translation. But anyway, the bug is the Bell Amulet actually works even if it's not equipped, if it's in that character's inventory. So you don't. It's kind of like, if you remember, you may or may not know, in Dragon Quest 1 or Dragon Warrior for the Super Nintendo, you got the effect of the dragon scales plus 2 defense when you used it as an item in your inventory, but then you could sell it or drop it, and it still gave you the plus 2. It didn't actually recognize that you unequipped it, basically. Slight little, little bug. Anyway, apparently it's sort of a similar thing with this one, that just, as soon as it's in your inventory, it just counts. But I'll equip them anyway, so it looks proper. So anyway, what do these things do? It actually doesn't even show them on this screen. Isn't that hilarious? Nope, it doesn't even show them there. But anyway, the Bell Amulet reduces the chance of being affected by snooze or fizzle. Fizzle is stop spell is what it turns into, I believe. So the only status effect it doesn't prevent doesn't reduce is dazzle, like the accuracy loss, and it takes it from, it's like your characters have a base chance of being affected by stop spell or snooze of about 37%, which is like, a little bit more than 1 in 3. And by equipping this in any version other than the NES, it reduces it down to less than 5%. In the NES version, it's a little less than 10%. But even on the NES version, that's a huge advantage. That's like a quarter as likely. That's going from 1 in 3 to 1 in 10, which is great. But especially on the newer versions, you're going from 1 in 3 to 1 in 20, which means we're almost immune to stop spell and snooze. And snooze is terrible. Stop spell is annoying, but being put to sleep so you don't get your turn at all is just one of the worst status effects in these kinds of games. And essentially, all I'm saying is, hey guys, maybe you should give that a try, because that's a pretty big buff. Okay, that's pretty much it for our backtracking. We've got the Crest, we went to Rubis, we got the bell icons, I unequipped my cursed shield for now. I will probably try to buy a mink coat eventually, although it might be smarter to buy another power shield, not to equip, but just to give people. I like how Roland says he has 872 defense. Some little text scrolling bugs every now and then. I think that's just not clearing. Yeah, it's like the third digit here, 112. It's not clearing that when it scrolls down. I expect that's a Japanese character conversion to English character problem, where in Japanese characters it's always 3 character spaces, but in the English version sometimes, you know, it leaves it blank. So and they never really programmed to fix that kind of thing, which is just, you know, whatever. That kind of stuff I don't care about too much. Those are the kind of bugs I can overlook on a fan patch. I'm more frustrated by getting the names totally wrong, or the ... bug in the inn that stopped you from playing the game completely. That was a good one. Okay, so let's head back to the Cave of Rhone. Now that we've got the now that we have the you know what I mean, the thingamajigger, the Charm of Rubus, we'll be able to actually do that dungeon, or at least we'll give it a shot. I'm still gonna store my money. How much do I have anyway? I could buy another power shield. I'm not going to do it right now, but if things get really hard, I may consider buying a second or third power shield to hold on to. I think I would prefer at the moment to save up for that mink coat. It's also known as the fur coat, I believe. You can equip it to, I think, the Prince of Middenhall, and it'll basically be his best armor. It has slightly less armor than the water robe, I believe, but or the flowing dress. And the dress is like meant for the princess anyway, so it's kind of, the idea is that's the Prince of Canuck, our Roland. It's supposed to be his best armor, basically. All right, so we've healed up. We're gonna go through the snake bites. I believe also the robe, if I remember correctly, just reading stuff, I believe Linda's angel robe, whatever you want to call it, it actually should stop her from taking terrestrial damage, so she won't actually take damage walking on the spikes. Everybody else will except her. And maybe like Armor of Erdrick, which we don't have yet, that might prevent it as well. But anyway, it's not like Dragon Quest 1 where it's really easy to just get one piece of armor and then no one will take step damage. We have to cast Step Guard and it lasts, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it lasts very long, like 10 steps or something. Alright. So I hope you enjoyed all your little secrets there we got at the beginning of today's episode. There's basically one more really good magic item drop from killing enemies. And it's not an enemy we can find yet. It's kind of in the next area after this cave. And, well, I guess there's a few cursed items that can drop that are of questionable value, let's say. But there is a non-cursed hat that can drop that is really good because the princess can equip it, and she normally can't equip anything for her hat. So there's a couple things like that are worth trying to pick up. Now, we're probably going to be in this dungeon for a long time, so I'm just trying to decide if I want to really burn magic or if it's better to save it. Like, I think for 4 MP, it's not very expensive, and it's probably worth it to save on the return counters. Anyway, we fought lots of Skull Knights. We know Firebane and Lightning tends to work pretty well, so, you know, there you go. Okay, of course I fell down a pit immediately. That's perfect. Pit that I had not found before. Okay, so anyway, we're on the 2nd floor. Now, if I understand correctly, we'll no longer loop. Now, I didn't actually look up a map, so these little side branches may still loop just fine. Like, that's possibly not going to change. But either that or I have to actually use the charm, I forget. I guess I could have looked it up, but I kind of wanted to just show off how fun this dungeon is with you guys once more, because it's hard to demonstrate how bad it was on the NES, or how tough it is now if you're following a walkthrough or a guide. So if you already know everywhere to go, then a maze isn't very good. Like, it's not a very hard maze if you know where you're going. And so far, to be honest, the random battles down here haven't been too terrible. Yeah, the Skull Knights doing their sap tricks can be bad. If we can't kill them quickly, once you get sapped down and they hit pretty hard, it's pretty brutal. Oh, I guess that's the other side effect. So you can't resist sap. There's nothing that resists sap in this game. I think it's just 100%. And so that just looped us. That's good to know. Yeah, so I guess between Surround and Sap, there's still a couple spells that you just can't... Well, Surround's not 100%, but there's no... doesn't seem like there's any equipment that reduces the chance. I guess maybe I should use the Firebane on them. So, leftward still took us back. Okay, let me... I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use this or not, so let's see if anything happens here. Nothing happened here, yeah. So what am I supposed to do differently? I really hope I don't have to look this up again. That would be kind of embarrassing. Alright, so they tried... Okay, now we got lucky that Surround didn't work. But yeah, Stop Spell from the Vebir, that's now what we're protected from. Not that Stop Spell makes much difference, but, wonder... I wonder if it was always all along, because I always thought that the Charm of Rubus, it wasn't actually needed to explore this dungeon, it was just at the very end of it, once you got to the top, basically. That was where if you didn't have the charm, you basically got an infinite loop, and you couldn't escape. Well, you could escape, you just couldn't continue forward, basically. Kind of like the Dragon Lord's Castle in Dragon Quest I if you take a wrong turn. But the last time I came here, I couldn't make any progress early. Now, it may have been that I didn't explore all these side paths well enough. Like, maybe I'm just supposed to go up. Even though it looks like it's repeating, maybe going up a couple times off one of these little side paths actually still takes me somewhere different. Or I just never found the one that had the staircase, which is probably more likely, to be honest. So I bet you we could have gotten here last trip. I just didn't explore all of those side routes enough, so... Now we get to fight slightly new enemies. We'll see how tough a gargoyle is before we start super speeding it. Not that bad, if Blue can one-shot them. So we get to see some treasure out here. This dungeon does have some amazing rewards if we can make our way to them. So one thing I was thinking is, if everyone had a power shield that they could use, you could leave the enemy group down to one weak enemy and just have everyone spam them. Okay, I want to learn for sure if the power shield only heals the person carrying it. I want Roland to use it a couple more times just to see if it's maybe targeting the person that's the weakest or something. And I will try to surround the little berserkers. It didn't even work. Did I use the magic armor instead of the... It's not very smart. That one, please. So maybe it's sleep on these guys. I thought for berserkers, maybe they'd be resistant to sleep, but weak to being, like, confused. Because that seems like something that might work on a berserker. So I'm getting the feeling pretty sure that the power shield only heals the user, which is perhaps the better option because there's less randomness. Now, I could probably switch it around with Roland and pass it to other people to get some free healing. I'm not going to do that. I'm just reminding you that you could just pass it around, probably, and get your free heals out of it. What I really should do then is just buy a spare for especially Blue, but also Linda. You know, well... I just don't like it when the enemies come all split up like this. It makes it really hard. I mean, I can Firebane, but... Ooh, we did not one-shot... Okay. I bet you Linda can finish it off. I should have just attacked with her. But yeah, Berserkers seem to be a little bit stronger than what Blue can dish out. I guess, Roland, you can just, Oh, you can't cast Antidote in combat in this game. It's a menu... It's like a travel spell only. Little details that I never noticed. Now, level ups I notice. Roland to 22, Strength 2, Speed 4, Vitality 2, HP 4, MP 1. That's an okay level up. Not amazing, not the best, but not terrible. A little bit of all the good stats. Ooh, Metal Bauble. Also, that Falcon Sword. Every time I see one of these, I'm like, if I only had a Falcon Sword. Come on. I think it's 5 HP we learned last time. That's 2 damage. Dang it. It also gave you... I looked it up as well, just for interest's sake. We did kill one, and we got 10,000 experience out of it. In the original game, NES version that is, it only dropped 1,000 experience. That's how much buffed the remake is. Like, the remake, you get generally like 2 to 3 times the experience of when you kill an enemy. But like the medals, they give you like 10 times the amount. So like, it's, you know, pretty good. Like, metal baubles were still very good for... In fact, I think they were called liquid metal slimes originally. Or, I forget. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, the idea was that... should have healed with Roland. Even in the original game, they gave you a good amount of experience. But in the remakes, they are the best way to grind XP there is. So I missed a few paths on that last floor, but... Yeah, so... I sort of remembered where this was. I couldn't remember how to get off the repeating floor the last time we came there. Once I got to this normal, I guess it's the 3rd floor, but the one that has a bit of a normal looking dungeon to it, I remembered that just keep traveling east, and it's not that hard. We could have picked this up the first time we came into the dungeon, basically. I'm just going to use these because we're running out of inventory space really quickly. And I would like to hold on to my other armor so I can sell it, basically, because then I might be able to buy the mink armor. So, unfortunately, Roland, who could use Erdrick's sword, can't use any of Erdrick's armor, and only Blue can. So this gives him even... I actually had mistakenly thought the armor of Gaia was the best armor in the game. But in Dragon Quest II, for some reason... all the Erdrick armor actually got an upgrade in stats over what the stats were in Dragon Quest 1. Like, this armor adds way more total defense than the original armor. And then, of course, the helmet and shield are pretty good as well. But the sword, for whatever reason, doesn't actually get any improvement at all. So, it's just kind of weird that the sword, specifically, that the prince can also use, our cousin... is specifically the one item that's useless. Well, it gets. I mean, we see the light sword's much better. Even the dragon sword was stronger than the sword of Rhodo or Erdrick. Anyway, that's really good for BlueAnkylo. Not so good for the rest of the team if they want defense, but. So now I think we just have to keep working our way up. Although, as always, metal baubles. Dang. Dang. Suppose we should try to get that treasure chest. Okay, so Roland's looking a little hurt. Let's maybe not kill every... How do I want to do this? I don't want to... Well, let's just be smart. Have him heal himself. And, I'm pretty sure Blue can kill a gargoyle on his own, but we'll have Linda smack it just in case. That was some good timing on the healing. So Sleep worked on Linda, even with the Bell Amulet. So that was the 5% managing to work, basically. But still, I'd rather get put to sleep 5% of the time than 35. The blue orc, or the Orc King, definitely has more HP than I give him credit for. Alright, we're doing fine. I'm really happy that I found out about those power shields in combat use, because that's really handy for these long dungeons. Like, if you're playing along, especially if you're not really watching the map per se, if you're just listening and just playing along on the side, definitely bring 3 power shields, because this is such a long, difficult dungeon. Yeah, actually, Blue and Roland together in one turn, can't quite kill the Orc King. So Linda should actually smack him to help. I didn't go up yet on that last floor, did I? There was like one chest I missed. But you found the mystery cap. Yeah, this is, I believe, actually new in the remake. I don't think this chest was here in the NES version. But it was a rare drop, and it was something Linda could equip. So, I will let her equip it. Although, I think, actually, both her and Roland can equip it. But I mean, he's got worse defense, doesn't he? She's up to 109, he's up to 89. Whatever, she can have it. This is very special armor as well. This is the one that you can get from a random drop from enemies. But the chest of it is something special. So it's a little bit of defense, not a lot, but that's the only helmet she can equip at all. It has a bonus or a secret effect that it lowers the cost of spells. Not in menu, but in combat. So pay attention to, like, Heal All is a good example because it's 8 MP. Once we're in combat, we should be able to see the difference. Well, I'm actually not even sure. It might be like the gold card, where it doesn't even tell you, it just, if you're paying attention, you use less MP. So, we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of pits in these rooms, so maybe don't explore all the corners unless you want to fall back down. Alright, yeah, it actually doesn't even show you that it reduces the MP cost. Well, when we're not fighting a Metal Babble, I will try to cast it just to see if we can notice the effect. I believe it's 25%, but I could be wrong. Okay, Orc King. I'm just gonna try to make sure the Orc King... I still should have sleeped on the Berserkers, probably. It'd be better to put 2 to sleep than to kill the Orc King. Alright, Roland, keep yourself healed. Linda... Well, let's just watch her MP. So instead of going down to 77 like normal, maybe this will do a different amount. Yeah, there you go. We saved 2 MP. So that's a really hard to notice thing, unless you're paying really good attention, I think. It's 25%, so I don't know if it rounds up or down. It probably rounds down, so I bet you Heal More will cost 4. 79. Actually, no, that rounded up. So we lost... that was a 5 MP spell for 3 MP. So we actually saved... that's actually really nice. I thought it would just always round to the less valuable option, but it looks like it's 25% rounded up, which is a great discount. We got a little bit of money. Look at this dungeon. It's not that bad. It's got all kinds of great treasure in it. And metal baubles everywhere that we never get to kill. Lots of dead ends. At least we're not falling into pits every time we open those areas. Which they could do to you. So there's a top right area and a bottom left area. I think the top right might be the actual way to the next floor. But we'll see. Now we'll kill the Orc King first, then we'll do a little heal. Aha, stop spell. Yeah, that power shield is so good. I think it was called the Shield of Strength originally, or something like that. Free healing, though. That's some good stuff. It's usually one of the most powerful items in the Dragon Quest series. Oftentimes, you can get a Sage Stone eventually, which has... Ooh, look! Dragons. The Heal Us spell, or the Heal Us... Not Heal Us All, that would be too good, but Heal Us generally casts something like Heal or Heal More. I think it was Heal More, generally. On the whole party, if you use it as an item in combat, which is pretty darn sweet. Now, if you notice there with the Dragon's Breath, Blue took less damage than Roland. Like, Linda and Blue both took reduced damage. That's because both of them have armor that reduces breath attacks. Erdrick's armor and the Angel Robe of Water, I think they both reduce Dragon Breath by 33% damage, or maybe 50%. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% of how many percent. But I know it does reduce the damage, and I think you guys could see pretty easily there. Oh, look, a free Hades shield. Wow, isn't that hilarious? I didn't even remember that there was a chest with that in it, but that's kind of neat. I will pick it up just so we can sell it. That means the random enemy dropping the Hades shield was less amazing, because holy friggin' crap, we're dead. This is definitely not a good fight. There's a reasonable chance that they're immune to Firebane and Thunder Staff, but I can't imagine the status is working any better, so let's give it a shot. Running away would be terrible if we failed. So lightning seems to work on dragons so far. Fire? It's hitting them. Okay, Firebane and Thunder was the way to do it. Those, if they did 4 Fire Breaths in a row, I mean, they could practically kill the whole team. There'd be nothing we could do, even with our resistance. So, level 24, huzzah! 3 strength, 4 speed, 2 vitality, 6 HP. That's a nice level up. Let's, Oops, that was not the item I meant to use. Yeah, you can't use the return spell or Wings of Chimera while you're in a cave, in case you're wondering. I just wanted to free up a little bit of inventory space because we've got too many medical herbs. And as much as they're nice, I think power shields are going to be better anyway, so I want to get rid of them. And Roland can heal himself for free if we just survive one more turn. Alright, so we went all the way up the stair stack to get basically nothing up here, to be honest. But at least it lets us see the more advanced, you know, dragons, the more advanced enemies. I guess the trouble with Roland's power shield is I need him to Firebane so much that he doesn't get a chance to use it in combat, because I need him to kill everything. Now, I think Linda will learn that spell eventually, but she's still got a long way to catch up in levels. Alright, level 18, Linda, 1 strength, 4 speed, 2 vitality, 8 HP, 9 MP. Beautiful level up. No spells, but that was great for her stats. Alright, so let's go back down. I think there's only one split left, the top right on, this is like floor 3, I think. And another metal, this is the floor for metal babbles if we can ever kill one. 1 out of 3. And it ran away. Not even close. I'm pretty sure Falcon Blades are really the way to go on those. You still wouldn't be guaranteed by any chance. Actually, there's also a weapon that raises your critical hit chance. That would also be a good compromise. I'm going to try putting those Berserkers to sleep in case... Well, I don't think the Firebane will kill them, so... Firebane's doing good damage. And he... Actually, it wasted the Orc King's turn, too, because he decided to use the Heal More spell. So I'd rather he did that than you know, attack us. And yeah, those critical hits that Blue gets every now and then, those, I believe, ignore defense on enemies. So metal slimes and metal bubbles, they don't get their 255 defense. Ah, this is the floor of fun. Well, we finally made it to everyone's favorite floor. The trick with this floor is that you fall down pits, and then you fall down more pits. And the best thing in the game, if I get it my first try, I'm gonna laugh. I want to fall down a pit somewhere on a southwest corner at some point. And it has some of the worst enemies on these trap floors, essentially. So, like, this stuff is pretty bad. I have a feeling the flame will be strong to Firebane, so we'll see what happens. And then... Maybe we should instead go for increasing our defense. And... just trying to put the guys we know to sleep, we can put to sleep. Maybe this is the smarter way. So it used a Fire Breath attack that didn't actually do very much damage. The Flame actually didn't have very much life, so that wasn't so bad. And of course, Blue just murdered them, so... Well, you sapped my increase. It's not as bad. I think we split our damage up, we should be able to kill everything. But yeah, I hadn't really used the increase spell yet. It is really good, though. It's, I don't know if it... I can't remember if it exactly doubles your defense or just raises it by 50%. I think it's plus 50%, which is still pretty awesome. Alright, we're gonna get a lot of these. See if we can win a fight without magic. Not sure if it was worth it, but... Okay, so instead of, you know, using offensive magic or combat magic, we're just gonna have to heal after combat instead, so... And I guess, you know, because of the it's either the Happy Hat or the Mysterious Hat or whatever for Linda, it might be better... Where is my pit? There's supposed to be pits around here. Because of the hat, it might be better to be using her magic to heal in combat anyway, right? Like, I didn't even check. Did a 2 MP spell also get cut down to 1? Like, it's supposed to be 25% reduction, but if it changes 2 to 1, that is sometimes ineffectively 50% reduction, which is... I mean, if it only costs 1 MP to cast Sleep, I should be doing it, like, constantly. The heck? Is there not another pit on this floor? Maybe they dropped me all the way to the bottom. Okay, I think that's what happened. We'll find out shortly, anyway. They don't really cast magic. Let's find out if Firebane actually works on them, although I would kind of think it wouldn't. Yeah, they do fireballs, so defense doesn't really matter. Can't stop spell, you can't... Ooh, Scorching Flames, extra... Yeah, that's what I get for testing stuff out. I think we have to just run. We could use the Thunder Staff. Nah, let's just try to get out of here. Oh my. Killed by flames. Brutally massacred by 4 flames. Well, you know, it's gonna happen sometimes. Oh, it looks like you've died. Please be careful. So how much money did we lose? 5,400, because it gets halved. Ouch. Alright, alright. Well, that's fair. We probably need to end the episode anyway, so let's just res and see how we're feeling. Because that was not a good fight. I'm not even sure if we could survive that one. Like, we can't use Firebane. Increase won't help. Surround won't help. Maybe Sleep. Sleep would be the only effect that would really give us any advantage on that one. But I don't know if you can sleep, if you can put, like, elementals to sleep. I guess I'll try it if we fight them again, because that would be possibly the only thing that would help. You know, Blue might be able to kill 1 in a turn, and maybe Roland and Linda, if they combined their strength, could kill another one in 1 round. But I'm not even sure of that. I think killing 1 or 2 per turn is the absolute best you could do. So if there's 4 of them, that's at least 2 chances for the Blazing Breath that can do like 40 damage to everyone. Basically as bad as Dragon's Breath. Maybe even worse because it's perhaps it ignores the armor reduction. So I did pick up a couple things to sell, I believe. Well, for one, I can sell the Armor of Gaia now. Is it not more than... This has got to be a display bug. I'm going to save it just in case. 4,500. Wow, really? Okay, I'm not even going to bother selling it then. I'll just hold on to it and put it in the storage locker. Because that was nuts. I thought it would be worth thousands. Okay. But we've got a spare Hades shield, so how much are these worth? A lot more. See, that's some value. So getting the random drop of the Hades shield was effectively 6,600 gold. And if I sold both of them, I might have enough money for something good. Maybe. I think Linda's basically out of inventory now. We still got the Resurrection Leaf at least. And I'm going to put the Armor of Gaia away. But I will buy a Power Shield for Blue to use. And maybe I'll buy one for Linda later too. Like, I was thinking of just saving up... I was thinking of just saving up gold. I'll just take a bunch out. I'll deposit whatever I don't need to, just so that when I inevitably die again, I don't lose out all. But yeah, like, the mink coat would be nice, but, I'm only about halfway to the cost of a mink coat, and I have a feeling being able to use, Heal More for free is probably better. Well, for free, I mean, it's pretty expensive, to be honest. But, no MP, anyway. Also, it's worth... The good news is, we buy it for 75%, which means we can sell it for 75%, so we don't really lose any money. If... Oh, did I equipped it by accident, oops. But yeah, if we can't actually use it unequipped, then that would mean Linda can't use it. So I might want to sell it back anyway, so we should test that out before we commit. But yeah, the Shield of Roto is definitely better than the Power Shield. And traditionally, the heroic shields, the legendary shields and stuff, In later Dragon Quest, those are the ones that really normally give you good Dragon Breath protection. I don't think it's in Dragon Quest 2, but later on, that's kind of the... You know, your shield is your main breath protection item. And then your armor, your body armor is like your protection from, like, magic damage. So, Power Shield... Power Shield... Linda got a crit. Good for her. Alright, so you can definitely use it while unequipped. 100%. So that's really cool. That's a great advantage. Between the Bell Amulet protecting us from a variety of statuses and the Power Shield basically giving us free in-battle healing. Even the Mystery Hat for Linda giving us cheaper spellcasting. That's a pretty good upgrade we got there today. Do we maybe have enough? We might have enough to buy a Power Shield for Linda as well. I mean, we're running out of spare inventory space really, really fast. Let's just get rid of this last medical herb. If we've got the ability to use... Like, it's nice to heal from the menu, obviously, because it doesn't take a turn. But, let's see if we can actually buy it without having... Yeah, it does calculate that you'll be able to afford it. If it knows you have the gold card, so it lets you buy it with less. That's handy. Okay, so that gives us 3 free heals. Everybody can heal more themselves for free. Now, in menus, like, it's still going to be smart sometimes to use your MP in menu just to make sure you start battle with full HP. But still, that's a good optimization trick. We've got less status hits. And some people are protected from breath weapons. We're not really missing very much. It'd be nice to get a second mystery cap for Rhone to give him a little bit better defense, because he doesn't have a helmet. And then he could cast magic for 25% off as well. But I think the only way to get a second one will be a random drop, which, you know, we'll see. And I think we have to get through the Cave of Rhone before we can even fight those enemies. We've got the Leaf of the World Tree, the Yggdrasil Leaf. I think all we're missing is some cursed items, a second hat, and a new sword for Blue. And, of course, the mink armor, so we can upgrade Roland's defense a bit more. That's pretty good. I mean, you know, this dungeon is brutal, and, you know, the first couple floors maybe misled you a little bit that, oh, this isn't that bad. What's Blue talking about? But hopefully those dragons and flames really sort of drove it home, and... We're on the floor where things get hard because of the dropping down vault, the pits, basically. And it's going to take me a while to sort of remember how it works. So hopefully next episode I can go straight to that floor, now that I sort of know how to get there. And there's an item we need to get, so we can't just skip it. We actually have to figure our way through the maze. Anyway, that's all for today's episode. Another really long episode, actually, but this is a tough dungeon, so I can't split it up too much or you'll never know where I am. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.